and welcome to Thoughts from the Green Room with your host, Jeff Mays. This week's topic, mind games. I recently read an article, not that recently, it was some months back. Anyway, I read the article by Nicole Forrester from CBC Sports. Right there's the name and information. You can probably Google it to find the article yourself. It was around the time of the Olympics, and it was entitled Mind Games. Emotions can be an athlete's biggest betrayer. It was an interesting article speaking about how the power of the mind leads some people to greatness, and in some cases can defeat people in great places and bring them down. And overall, the large point of the article was the power of the mind to keep yourself in a great place. It was a very interesting read, talking about how athletes who have the ability to regulate themselves, to recognize if they are too hyped or too calm or too off focus or too on focus, to not what they need to do to achieve their sporting prowess, through the power of the mind, through various simple techniques, such as breathing, meditation, things like that, they can focus appropriately to achieve great outcomes. I haven't stopped thinking about this article. It's been on my mind for some time. It's come up in some conversations, and I realize that it's no different than what I myself do as an actor and what many of my friends do as actors, and I'm sure many other artists and people that I know, but I'm focusing on the actors right now. And the contrast is this. I've spoke to actors when they're prepping for a small walk-on role or a little part in a theater, a couple lines here, a couple lines there, whatever, and they all seem to approach it with the same attitude of, I got this part, no big deal. Got it. Memorized it last night in 5 minutes. And they're ready to go. They know what they're doing, their 3 lines are good. But when they get a leading role or a major role in a TV series or something like that, there's a lot of pressure from the agent, from friends and family to do a great job, from themselves more than anything. And the level of input and stress that they go through to get this role perfect for this great outcome is insane. And it's one of the factors that really wrecks a performance, is the inability to reduce the stress in order to just do your job, which is perform. And in speaking to these actors who are successful, who pull off this and reduce the stress, they all speak to the same thing that Nicole Forrester spoke about, the girl from the article, and that's the fact that it's mental attitude. And one of the biggest things that I hear consistently, and that I myself have adopted over the years, is that it doesn't matter what the role is, it doesn't matter how big or how small it is. I need to approach it with the same attitude, the same level of diligence, and do the best that I can, regardless of size of role. And by approaching it that way, it equalizes the playing field. And with an equalized playing field, I'm consistently able to, as are my friends who use this same equalization of the playing field, we're consistently able to turn out a solid performance. And it is the power of the mind to regulate ourselves and recognize, oh my God, I'm putting too much stress on me, or I'm not giving enough care to this, I need to put more focus on it. And it is through that I come back to something that you've probably heard, that I'm just realizing that I've heard a million times, but now through this new lens has application. And that application is this: the only person you need to compete against is yourself. Do what you need to do to be your best always. And in doing that, you will turn out your best performance always. If you sell yourself short and you don't put in your 100%, then your performance will be sold short and it will not be at 100%. It's very straightforward. It's very simple. I'm sure there are a million ways of little adages that equal that grouping of words I just used. But it's interesting that having that in the back of my mind, I've over the years slowly adopted, that the only person I challenge is myself. Now, this all started off of that article from Nicole Forrester from CBC Sports and its application to athletes. And I've talked about it as an application with actors. And now I want to bring it around to anybody else who's not in those two categories, because I believe it is universal. That no matter what you're doing, if you're working in an office and you've got a little itty bitty piece of a presentation, I'm willing to bet that you're like, yeah, I got this, no problem. But if you're the lead on a presentation, you're like, oh my God, what do I do? Ah! And you're stressing yourself out. But if you work to equalize the playing field and put all of you in no matter what, then you're going to turn out a great performance. And that is, of course, this week's challenge. Take a look at how you can equalize your playing field using mind games, whether it be things like meditation or self-pep talks or breathing exercises or mantras, whatever it is. See if you can equalize your playing field so no matter what your task, you're able to attack it and give your 100%. And those are your thoughts from the green room. I'm your host, Jeff Mays, and we'll see you in a few weeks.